Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for Fit Chef Katie's top 5 items to notice when you're reading labels. Now I hope that we're all coming to a conscious effort and point of reading the labels of the foods that we're picking up. Obviously, if we're picking up anything from the earth, as in apples, oranges, vegetables, we're not going to need to read those labels. And I say pack them in your basket, shop the heck out of them, grab them at your local market. But we are still purchasing packaged products, and that's going to be part of our daily lives. So it's important that we know how to read the labeling. Now, I'm not an expert by any means, but I do have 5 fast and easy ways to make a better choice. And we're going to talk today. It's interesting, if you look on the back of any label, it's always in the same order. First, we've got fat. Today I'm going to use this as an example, the Land O'Lakes plain yogurt. It always does fat first, cholesterol, sodium, potassium, carbohydrates, which include fiber and sugars, and then our protein. Today I'm only going to focus on 5 of those. So let's start. We're going to start with the very last one that they list, and that's protein. That's the first thing I always look for when I'm looking on my label. I want high protein. A diet high in protein and veggies is going to get you lean and mean quickly. So make that your first look. Now, you don't need a whole lot of protein unless you're a weightlifter and you're really building muscle mass, but typically you need about half of your weight. So I need about 60 grams of protein a day. That's a great target for me. Then number 2 we're going to look for is sugars. Okay, I want you to check to see your sugars. Now, it's interesting. What spurred me on to have this little top 5 video today is actually an email that I got from Men's Health magazine that very blatantly reminded me that sugar should almost be this much in our diet. Every day we're supposed to have 5% of our calories come from sugar. So on a 2,000 calorie based diet, that's about 25 grams of sugar a day. And that's like nothing, honestly. I ate this yogurt and I checked that morning to see how much sugar it has. And it's plain yogurt. It's not sweetened. There's no fruit on the bottom. This already has 10 grams of sugar. I was only left with 15 grams of sugar a day. Now they realize that's unrealistic, and Men's Health even offered to say, let's go for 10% of our calories coming from sugar. So that's about 50 grams a day. So I encourage you and almost give me a high five to see if you can do that. It's not easy when you start reading the labels and seeing how there's almost sugar in everything. Number 3 we're going to look for is our carbs. Now, anything that's going to be high in protein is hopefully going to be lower in carbs. That's why we shoot for protein first. So carbs is what's actually making America fat, in my opinion. Carbs turn into sugar, and sugar turns into fat. Now, even when we think of carbs, we think breads, cookies, cakes, pasta, which is correct, but there's going to be carbs in a lot of other things. So just check that label. When it comes to carbs, anything that's super high in carbs, even if it's a healthy thing for you, is going to increase our glucose level, which is going to be difficult for us, which again is going to lead to prediabetes. So be careful of that. When it comes to carb count, we want to get that low. So I'm not going to give you a number on that, but let's just say your sugars and your fiber are going to be a big mix on that. But on the carb count, try to keep it under 25 for the entire meal. So not just one item that you're eating, but try to keep it under 25 grams for an entire meal. You're going to find that that's going to be a lot of lean meats and veggies, as I've been encouraging. Number 4 that we're going to be looking for is high fiber. Now, I always ask this at any of the speaking engagements I do, is how much fiber do you need a day? Now, my kids actually know that answer, but most people don't. You need 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day to help keep your system clean, or as I teach kids, get your poopies out. Now, the reason we want that is that it's going to, again, clean our systems, but we're going to find that in things that are high in carbs, as a matter of fact. So anything like lentils. 1 cup of lentils, which is about my hand size, is going to have 15 grams of fiber a day. Fantastic, except for that, it's also high in carbs. So again, it's a toss-up of learning to understand your labels and picking and choosing a variation of food products throughout your day. Lastly, I want to encourage you to look at fats. Again, we don't read fats first. Fat isn't what's making America fat. It's eating too much of carbs, eating too much of sugar. So what we want to do is stay away from trans fat, and your label will say that. You also want to make sure that you're eating monosaturated fats, which are going to be your healthy fats from avocado and things like that. Saturated fats are okay in moderation, so remember that. Lastly, I just want to encourage this idea about calorie counting. Now, that's actually the very first thing we always look at is serving size and calorie count. Of course, number one, we just need to eat a lot less, America. Number two, as for calories, I can tell you that a slice of white bread has as many calories as a banana. And while nutritionally wise, we know which one is much better for us. So I encourage you to think nutritionally focused rather than calorically focused. Now, there's much more that we could go into this, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. Make sure that you follow me at Instagram and more on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to me. I'd love to hear what you'd like to see for your top 5. And next time you go shopping, check out your labels. Look for high fiber, high protein, low sugars, and good fats. All right, this is Fit Chef Katy reminding you that healthy always loves you back. Thanks for joining me.